It's been little less than a month since Super Smash Bros. For 3DS dropped, and I must say that it certainly doesn't feel that long. For those that haven't been paying attention, yes, there's now a Smash Bros. On the 3DS. And yes, it's awesome. Being a longtime fan of the franchise, I can't even contemplate that there exists people that have never played a game in the series. But as a bit of a refresher, I'll explain the gameplay a tad before digging deeper into the review. Super Smash Bros. Is a 4-player fighting game featuring a smorgasbord of characters from various Nintendo franchises like Super Mario Bros., Punch-Out!, and Pokemon, to name just a few. The point of Smash is different than most other fighting games. You see, in Street Fighter, you need to render your opponent unconscious, but in Smash Bros., you simply have to knock them off the screen and into one of the 4 blast zones on the stage. Doing this earns you a point or deducts a life from your opponent's stock counter. You can do this using strong attacks, baseball bats, hammers, and various other tools. Introduced in the previous title in the series was the Smash Ball, an orb that, once broken, grants the one who destroyed it an ultra-powerful super attack. Now, Super Smash Bros. Has always been a very taxing game on our controllers. All too many N64, GameCube, and Classic controllers have fallen victim to hardcore Smash players, and I fear the 3DS version is no different. I can feel my analog slider becoming a lot more loose, even though I'm as gentle with it as I can be. This is because you have one analog stick doing the job that used to be carried out by 2. This problem is fixed by the new 3DS with its second analog slider, but I really wish we could map Smash attacks to the 3DS's much sturdier directional pad. As for new modes, we have Smash Run, a mini-game that has you traversing a large map for 5 minutes, collecting all sorts of knickknacks and doodads to buff up your fighter so that you can have an advantage during the 1-minute bout that occurs afterwards. Smash Run will feel very similar to people who have played Kirby's Air Ride, as even the game's creator said he just copied the idea from that. Unfortunately, Smash Run is nowhere near as fun or enjoyable as Air Ride's City Trial. Enemies are far too frequent and respawn even if you don't leave the screen. There's also a large amount of chance involved, as the game will drop you in front of enemies and into situations that you would normally have no issue with if you were just a tad more powered up. And while you can play Smash Run locally with 3 other players, you can't interact with them. So it barely even feels like you're playing multiplayer anyways. Smash Run is how you unlock most of the special moves, of which you can then use to customize your favorite Nintendo characters. Speaking of customization, it's actually really fun to do in this game. Characters like Bowser are normally incredibly slow, but you can tweak a character's stats to give them the traits that they didn't have before. This allows you to alter how much damage they do, how much damage they can take, and their speed. You can also change their special attacks so that they have various different effects. And to go with customizing the pre-made characters, Smash Bros. Now has a Create a Fighter function in the form of me. Yes, those annoying little pricks are now fighters, and they aren't even half as lame as you'd expect. In fact, when I'm not playing online, I main the Mii Brawler, and he's actually pretty powerful. Miis come in 3 classes: Brawler, Gunner, and Swordsman. Gunner and Swordsman take cues from Samus and Link respectively, while Brawler is a combination of some unique moves with a hint of Mario and Captain Falcon thrown in. I mentioned online earlier, and I'll be straight with you guys, I don't like playing online. This game reminds me of why I don't like playing online, as the game is just horrendous to play. Normally, a match should take about 2 minutes, or they would if the game didn't stutter after pressing a button. 2-minute matches become 5 or 6 minutes. If you're hopping on expecting to get in a quick online match, then you better put on a pot of coffee, make a sandwich, turn off the stove, probably shovel the driveway if there's any leaves or snow in it, all that sort of stuff, because yeah, you'll probably be up all night waiting for the game to stop fucking lagging. Super Smash Bros. For 3DS is mechanically the best in the series, that much is a fact. The fighting is solid, stages are mostly well designed, and the cast is well thought out. Every character feels competitively viable, unlike in Smash Bros. Melee or Brawl. The visuals of the game are quite nice and seem to push the 3DS to its limits. However, there are some noticeable frame rate dips during 4-player matches. It's a great game that's greatly hindered by the platform it's on. So, as it stands, it's little more than an hors d'oeuvre to get us ready for the main course that's coming next month. I highly recommend buying the game once it gets a price cut.